Hello and welcome to another video tutorial for Paramics Discovery 23, which is coming out this month, November 2019. This is the third in our series today, and this tutorial will be looking at a new feature giving you the ability to import and export signal timings from your Paramics Discovery model. So I've got a network in front of me which I'm going to use to demonstrate this new feature. And we can see with this styles panel open on the right hand side that I've got an option in network review to toggle on signal control junctions. So I can quickly see within this model that there are several signal control junctions. So it's going to be a good model for demonstrating this feature. Now there's two ways that you can export signal timings. One is through the inspector. So if I go to Edit Network and Inspector, and I'm just going to close my styles panel so I can see the inspector a little bit more fully. And within the inspector, I'm going to go to signal timings. And this shows me all of the signal timings for all of the junctions within this model. So we can see the junction name on the far left column, and then various information about that junction and the signal timings associated with it. Now I can export this information from the inspector using the export button on the top right. So I'm going to do that. And I'll save this, calling it signal timings inspector. And we'll save that file. So that's one way to export the signal timings. I can also export them through the Edit Network menu. So Edit Network, Export. And there's various options in here, and we're going to go into these in a future video tutorial. But the one I'm interested in is features as CSV, because that's the format that the signal timings are in. So I'll export features as CSV, and I'll toggle everything off, leaving the signal timings, and export those. So having exported those two files, let's have a look at them in the folder that they've been saved in. So I can see I've got the signal timings which came from the Edit Network menu and the signal timings from the inspector. I'm going to open both of these in Excel. We can see if I go back and forth between these two files that they are identical. So it doesn't matter which one you use for this export, they'll both work fine. Now within here we've got the various data associated with the signal timings, and what you can do with this data now is change some of it to re-import it back in. But it's important to understand what's possible to change and what isn't possible to change. And the simplest way to find out what we can and can't change in the CSV file is to have a look in the user interface. So I'm going to zoom in on one of my signal control junctions here. It's quite a simple one. It's a pedestrian crossing at node 4, and edit the signals. So by looking at the user interface here, I'm able to see what I can and can't change within the CSV file. So one thing I can change is the stage length. You can see that that's an editable property, as is the stage all red and the offset. Okay. Now you can also change the start and end times within the phase itself, so the phase start and the phase end, and you can do that by dragging these bars along, as you can see at the start and ends of this particular phase. Now, as well as within this diagram, these timings also exist when we go to review signal timings. So you can see in here that we've got the cycle offset, which is editable, the stage length, the stage all red, the phase start offset, and the phase end offset. So those 5 properties which are editable within review signal timings and within the diagram here are also editable within the CSV that you can then import in. So I'll go back to my CSV file, and I'm going to change some of those properties. So let's change the cycle offset. We'll make that 10. Let's increase the stage length to say 200. Put in an all red of 10. Let's put in a phase start of 20 and a phase end of minus 20, just to make it very obvious that the change has happened. I'm going to save that file and close it, and then go back to my model. And now I go to Edit Network, Import, and Signal Timings. And I look for the file, which is this network one signal timings, and open that. And it's telling me that it's imported the signal timings. Now it's done it for all of the junctions because the file included all of them, but the only changes will be at junction 4 because those were the only changes that we made. And if I go back to my signal editor, I can see these timings have come in. So you can see the stage length has increased to 200. I've got a stage all red of 10, an offset of 10, and I can see my phase offsets have also changed. And we can see those changes in the review signal timings dialog as well. So now you can see how to export and import your signal timings into your Paramics discovery model. It's a really useful tool and a time saver for those models where you've got several signal control junctions. So I hope you found this video tutorial useful. We'll have another one for you next week of more features coming into Paramics Discovery 23 this month. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.